and gentlemen, I'm Antwone.C, and I'll be giving you guys a little insight on this little tribute speech. See if you guys can walk with me. I just have one question. Is there anybody special in your life, somebody that you feel like can do anything, can really not do any wrong, but they always have the answers whenever you don't know? Well, if so, I feel like you can relate to this a little much. For me, this person was my grandma, Miss Antwone.C. She was, a person I call Granny. Everybody has a nickname, but she was not only impacted my life like from the day I was born, but still to this day after she, has passed away, I'm still learning from her, and that's the thing. For me, it was like she never aged in my eyes. It was always her wisdom and guidance, and it was like a never-ending cycle, and that's how I always thought about it to this day. But Miss Irma was born July 23rd, 1951. If y'all see, this is her picture. Got her name on the back. Someone gave that to me shortly after she was born. I have her obituary too. I can't really hold it, let you guys see, but I'll hold it here. But she was born July 23rd in 1951 in Texarkana, Texas. But at this time, it was a little different. It was 1951, and she was the middle of 5 sisters, so yeah, that's pretty tough. But they grew up poor in the time of segregation, and she attended the school of Isla. It was the school for colors and different, and Liberty was the school for the others. They conjoined today. They're Liberty Isla, where I went to school also. But she lived there basically all her life. Never changed, never switched anywhere or moved around. And she watched, the things change. She used to always tell me the stories about how things were different now and then. But I mean, now I've told you, about her background and her upbringing. I'm gonna tell you about how her wisdom and her guidance was off the charts to me. My grandmother was really my hero. That's what made her my hero. She worked 20 plus years at Red River before I was even born. With my grandpa raising her and my grandpa raising 3 boys, like at this time was probably a little difficult. I couldn't go through it myself, I don't know. But in 1996, she ended up losing my grandpa, the sickness of obviously before I was born. And fast forward to October of 2006, my dad dies to a heart attack at the age of 35. And, and that's tough, I feel like, for her to have to go through. And another thing, she stopped smoking at the age of 56. She had been smoking since she was a freshman in high school. So that math is, yeah. And then 2 years later, well, at the same time, around the time she stopped smoking, it was like maybe a year later, she got breast cancer. They diagnosed her with breast cancer, and then she had 2 years later after that, she got a pacemaker put in. And ultimately, that runs out, and that led up to what happened today. But surviving all of this, all of this trauma, to me was like, you're tough. You're tougher than anybody that I don't know how I could fathom it, and that's what made her my hero, honestly. It's a lot of it I didn't believe, how she went through what she did, but she taught me so much. She was the first woman to teach me how to count, manage time, how to be respectful. It was, so much that I couldn't, that I can't even just put into, words. But I love her to death. These events, that I seen my grandma go through and have, watched myself, and what she's told me is what made her that much stronger than me, that much a bigger impact. But to this day, you know, I don't feel like I would be the person that I am if it wasn't for her. You know, but she passed away last year, uh, like late September, and it's just another thing because she died because of COVID and a lot of other things that were building up. But they said she was supposed to go maybe a week. Like she didn't even have that long, but she lasted over a week of what the day was, and that for me was another thing because like you still smiling, you still pushing through, and like it's normal, and it's not. For me, it was, and that's what made her that much more of my rock. But I do want to just can wrap it up and say I'm blessed to have my grandmother. I believe I am. I mean, if you have a person like this in your life, I really hope that they impact you and keep pushing you to drive and do that. To still appreciate them while they're here, and even if you live, you learn. Continue doing that. Really, that's what my grandma taught me. You never quit in anything you start, anything you do. So continue to live and continue to learn. And that's pretty much it. I want to thank you.